Tashomi's Harmony and Hustle.
That always tells me that I'm doing this is for a reason.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a man on the inside that's plugging me and stuff. It's just been through me doing like through my hard work and working with great people. So I can't just stop because it will be a bit of a waste if I don't keep going.
Yeah.
And also like when you do a show, I'm sure you've done shows and someone says to you, oh, this made my evening, or what you played really helped me, or that's part of the reason I have to keep going, because someone needs to hear my music somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and as I said, if I do shows and only one person is inspired by it, I think that's why I have to do it.
It's the game that we play, you know?
Jeez, man. Well, no, nice one, man.
Yeah, all good, man. Well, David.
Yes. How you doing, man?
Appreciate you, brother. Yeah,
Thank you for creating the space for us to talk, man.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thank you for reaching out.
Yeah.
Thank you for reaching out. I appreciate it.
I always just try and reach out to anyone. And you could get a yes, you could get a no, but you just got to try.
And I mentioned to you actually after you did reach out. I'm like, I know we've met somewhere. I think so. We've been in similar circles.
Yeah, either like a function gig or like a random gig here and there. And we've got like 60 mutuals.
Yeah, we've got quite a lot of
so like we definitely have seen each other at some point, but we do so many shows and so many gigs. Sometimes it's hard to remember everyone. But yeah, I've definitely seen you before.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. We do so many different things. It does then become difficult to know who you've... And in that moment, you had a great time.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It was a great gig.
Yeah.
It was a great reception. And then just time goes on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then to like bring it all the way back.
Yeah.
So you are you're a full-time musician.
Yes, you're full-time.
How did you start? How did you get into it?
So great question. So my dad's a pastor.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically when you're a pastor's kid, you're either going to sing or play an instrument. That's kind of like an unspoken rule. Yeah. So my mum and dad put me into classical piano from like eight years old.
Amazing.
And I really hated it. Yeah, I really hated it because I had to do Saturday lessons as well. I had to do lessons in school. And I wasn't feeling it at all. But as the years got on, I started listening to more gospel music and like Christian music. And then they put me through like a gospel piano course, which kind of increased my, how do I put this? My love for the instrument a bit more. And then I saw a keyboard player at my church at the time. His name is Basil. And then when he was playing, I was just like, oh, like I heard some neo soul, like some R&B chords of it. And then literally from there, I sat next to him for about a year, just watching him play. Literally watching him play. And then sometimes he'll let me play a song. If it's like offering or something like that, he let me play a song. And literally from there, I just kind of went from there and I just loved it from there.
Yeah. So similar to myself, actually, seeing somebody in church playing. I saw Angela Christie playing the sax and she was nailing it.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's just something hypnotic about it. Like, I want to be able to do that. And church is a great environment where you can actually sit with the musicians, like for a whole gig, basically, and see how they do it, see what they're doing and whatnot. Okay, that's great. So you started in church, and from there, how do you get from your starting point to where you are now? Did you go into any kind of music school or anything like that?
There's such a long process of that. It's funny, I didn't even do GCSE music.
Oh, right.
I didn't do A-level music. I didn't do music at uni either. It was more just playing in church every week. Yeah. And then I remember I joined like a gospel band as well. So it was just more of that, and then just like jamming with musicians and stuff, and playing through that. So yeah, I never had any formal training of music. It was all from church and using my ear. And then and when I went to Coventry University, where I was still kind of doing music in church and with like got the gospel choir, and then I went to a show, Snarky Puppy.
Great, that'll do it.
Yes. So and this was like, everyone has that moment in their life where you're just like, oh, everything changes.
Yes.
For me, and this is when Snarky Puppy, they were big, but they weren't. I think we got tickets even on the day. Nowadays, you're going to do that. No. But it was a point, me and my friend, we got tickets on the day, and Sean Martin wasn't there. It was like Bill Lawrence and all of these guys, but it was a great band. And then when I went to that show, that night changed my life completely. Wow. Completely, man. This was around the time when they were doing like, I think Ground Up. And so they had like Flood, these kind of tunes. All of these... all of these great tunes. So I watched them, and then from there, I was just like, yeah, I actually want to do this. So I never heard jazz like that. I heard about jazz, but I never heard jazz on that level. And from then, I was just like, yeah, I just want to do jazz music.
Yeah. Okay, so the inspiration came from seeing it happen and whatnot. So did you have anybody, like, sort of, I mean, you say you're a pastor's kid, so like, naturally your parents would want to get you into music where that's concerned. So I guess there would have been a lot of encouragement from them. Yeah. And where you wasn't doing it in school, it was much more of a personal thing. Yeah. Like, is there anything that anybody said to you along the way that has helped sort of keep your dream alive where music's concerned?
Oh, wow. Help me along the way. So there was a drummer I had in my church. His name is Sam. I remember I was probably 14, 15, 16. And I remember him saying to me at the time, listen, if you don't make it as a musician, then it's all on you. Because you have all the tools to be able to make it. And I remember, and I used to really respect him because he gave me so much good advice growing up. I even remember one time I was watching, I learned something off YouTube. I don't know if you know about Jamal Hartwell and these kind of people. So he's a keyboard player.
Yes. Yeah, I've got a DVD of that.
Oh, yeah. So he taught basically most of us like gospel. And I remember I learned, I don't know if it was him or just a random YouTube link, video. I learned like a 736, 251 in the jazz world, chord progression. And then I was just copying a lot. And I remember him saying, it's good that you're copying it, but you have to actually learn or understand why you're doing it. Yeah. And I remember I was so annoyed. I was like, but it sounds good, man. Like, why are you saying this to me? Like, and it took me like a week to learn the thing, and I was putting in every song basically in church. And I was really really excited to show him. He was like, yeah, it sounds great, but you need to understand why that happened. And that advice kept me going, because I remember when, because in church, nobody really talks about theory.
Yes.
You just jam it out. You just do your thing. I remember when I started playing some functions, and they'll call out a chord like C major 7 flat 5, which I knew how to play. But when they told me, I was just like, what is that?
Yeah, threw you off.
And then the guitarist would play it, and I'm like, oh, is that? So I had to understand, like, as good as it is to learn all the licks and all the fun stuff, you need to learn the reason behind your doing and the theory. So I had to go all the way back, learn the theory, and then progress from there. So those advices helped me.
Yeah, sure. So from that point now, I guess playing now in a different environment, that's sort of giving you a bit more of an understanding of how it all works. So I guess in church, a lot of it is numbers, right? You don't necessarily numbers. How you play that number is kind of here or there. Yeah, for sure. But as long as the root note corresponds with that number, then you're all right. Like you're saying, 251-736, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so what are you doing now music-wise? What's happening for you at the moment?
Yeah, so I've been doing jazz for about 12 years. And I've just been doing a lot of projects. So at the moment, I'm working on a project, a 4-track EP, which I got funding through Help Musicians. Great. So I got the jazz, I was put on the Jazz Whittington Award. So that's helped me fund this next project. So I'm working with Namali from Blue Lab Beats. He's helped me with a lot of the drums, and I've been collaborating with different musicians, and this project is a bit different because I've sent everyone their parts and everyone's recorded at home.
Okay.
On my previous projects, like I did a live album from the Rabbit Hall. I did other live stuff, but everyone was in the studio recording at the same time. This is the first time I've actually sent stems out to people and they've recorded it back.
Great.
Obviously, I don't want to reveal that too much because I want people to feel like we're all in the same room. But
I mean, sure. That's how a lot of music is made.
Yeah, but literally everyone done their stuff at home and just sent it back to me. So I'm in the middle of a project right now.
Yeah, sure. Going back a little bit from that, actually. Firstly, how important is getting funding for a project?
Yeah, this is the first time I've got funding, and I've been applying for funding for so long. Like PR, so you've got the PRS one, you've got Arts Council, you've got Help Musicians. I've been applying for funding for a very long time, and it's very expensive to release music.
Yeah,
like it's so expensive. So even this funding I got from Help Musicians has gone a long way. It pretty much funded 2 of the tracks.
Great.
But yeah, I think funding is so important. So every time I see a PRS post, I'm always just on it. Like even if you get rejected a couple of times, just keep going. Because the Jazz Whittington one, I think I applied definitely 3 or 4 times. And I even got to one of them, I got to the stage of actually performing in front of the panel.
Great.
So this was the second time I'd done it, and I was just like, listen, this time I have to get it. So yeah, funding is so important, and I encourage all musicians or creatives who are making music to go for funding.
Yeah, of course. What was the difference this time that you got the funding versus the times you didn't, do you reckon?
I think I was a bit more confident in what I wanted to do on this one and a bit more set. And also, I already had written the songs before I applied for funding. So I kind of, like, a lot of us sometimes apply for funding and we're just like, oh, let me just apply it and then I'll do the music if I get it. But I already had the songs in the bag. So I was a bit more confident in terms of like what I wanted to achieve from the outcome. And also I've grown as an artist as well.
Yeah.
I'm way more confident now through experiences. So maybe I came across that when I did the showcase to the panel, and and they asked me a lot of questions, and I was a bit more confident of it. So I think that helped as well.
Yeah. I get that. So the project you're releasing now, have you got a plan to tour that? Have you got a plan to take it sort of as far as it can go, or are you just sort of getting material down under your belt so you've got like another album or another record? Or...
Yeah, the thing is, I've never done a tour, so that's information I need to learn. Like, how do I release a project and get on a tour? I've done projects and I've done shows, but I've never ever done like a project and a like couple dates. So that's something I'm gonna definitely look into over the next couple of weeks. How can I maximize this release? Because it's important to be able to get your music out to as much people as possible. So yeah, I'll definitely do a show in time to the release, but getting a tour in, I'm gonna have to think about how I can do that.
But it was your previous project, I assume it was your immediate previous project that you did at the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah. The Elgar room.
How does that come about?
It's so funny, and I've said this in a couple of different interviews. Like everyone's like, how did I get the Elgar room? What's the magic? I emailed them. Like
it's that simple.
Literally, I literally emailed them and I said, hi, I'm David Kofi. I'm interested in doing your show at the Elgar room, your jazz room. And they just said, yeah, man. We'd love to have you come perform, and then that was it. And I did the show there in 2023 February. I released a short EP from that one, but the one I did in 2024, that was a full album. Great. So everything was recorded, and literally, it's funny because after the first show, they called me back again. And I remember I was just like, I don't really want to do another show. It was just a bit long. And I remember my boy who plays drums, Jeremy, he was just like, bro, stop being stupid, man. Just do a show. So I did a show and then dropped the album. Literally every single song we did, we put out on the album.
Yeah. Did they promote it, or did you have to do the promotion? Did they just give you the room and you have to figure out filling it out? How did that work?
Do you know what? It's just a little bit of a... the Royal Albert Hall are so good at selling tickets because they've got such a big client base. In terms of all the venues I've done, not saying other venues aren't good, other venues are great.
Yeah.
If I get cancelled. But the Royal Albert, because they got such a big client base, I have found it a bit easier to sell tickets.
Okay.
So regarding the album, the live album, that was actually decided maybe a week or 2 before. So I was actually going there just to do a show. And then I said to them, oh, can I just do an album? Because I've done the EP before. Let's just record everything and see what happens. So Royal Albert Hall, in terms of promotion, I did most of it, but then they will post it on their feed, like their story or something. So yeah, they've done that.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Great. And I need to now email the one.
You do. What? Yeah, as long as you've got like your YouTube links, your Spotify,
completely. I'll hold you to that, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you don't get it, don't blame me. I hope you do.
I know David, guys.
Yeah. I hope you do, man. You said David Kofi recommended you. Yeah.
Exactly. What is I'm just gonna throw some questions at you. What is like what is your current biggest challenge as a creative? What is it? What is the biggest challenge as a creative, do you reckon?
Great question. Staying motivated, I think. Because you have to keep going no matter what. Like, we all go through life challenges. Yeah. We all go through times of self-doubt. Financially, as I said, it's so expensive to make music, but I always say, like, you got to remember why you're here and what's your purpose. Yeah. And I know my purpose is to make music. So regardless of, like, even if I'm having a really bad time, just clock in and just remember why you're doing it. So, and the thing is, because I've had such great experiences, like I've done Wycombe Jazz Festival, Wycombe Jazz Festival, and I don't have management, that always tells me that I'm doing this is for a reason. Yeah. Like, I don't have a man on the inside that's plugging me and stuff. It's just been through me doing, like, through my hard work and working with great people. So I can't just stop, because it will be a bit of a waste if I don't keep going. Yeah. And also, like, when you do a show, I'm sure you've done shows, and someone says to you, "Oh, this made my evening," or what you played really helped me, or that's part of the reason I have to keep going, because someone needs to hear my music somewhere. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, and as I said, if I do shows and only one person is inspired by it, I think that's why I have to do it. Same way Snarky Puppy inspired me. Imagine if they didn't come to Coventry. I probably wouldn't be doing jazz. I'll probably just be doing, not in a bad way, but I'll just probably just not be doing what my purpose is. I'll just be probably just playing, obviously still be doing church and everything, but that show, if they didn't come, if they said, "Oh, we're not Coventry, who cares about Coventry? Let's just do London," then my life would have been different. So I always have to remember that, to inspire other people.
I saw the Sons of Kemet. I saw them play at, was it in Waterloo? Man, it's so electric. Shabaka Hutchins, who I'm trying to get in the pod to see how that works. Definitely. I saw him perform, and just the energy of his performance. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way he commands the stage, the way he plays tenor, and it's just unapologetic. It's huge. It's a big sound. It's an authoritative sound. It's unapologetic is the best way I can put it. It's like so tribal. It clicked something in me. And this was, maybe this was like some, I don't know, 6 years ago. It wasn't necessarily like at the beginning of my journey, but even so, though, I felt like there was another element of inspiration that I took from that. I'm like, you know what? Actually, I feel like I get it, because I resonate with the style, I resonate with the energy, I resonate with the performance. And then it's almost like, similar for you and Snarky Puppy, when you see people do it in the way that they do it, it's almost like they give you permission in a sense. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're saying, actually, I can. Yeah. So why can't you?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's great. That's great. Like, you got inspired, like, as you had been playing a couple of years before. You got inspired in the middle of it. That's great. Yeah. That's great.
And you got guys like Michael Brecker, who saxophonist. He passed away a few years ago. Probably the world's greatest sax player when he passed. Like, no one will outdo Michael Brecker. And even him, he was saying how there's still so much more to learn and still so much more to figure out. So on this journey, there's definitely ups and ups and ups. And at the top of one mountain is the base of another. I heard somebody saying it's just still going. You're still going. So all right, that's what got you into music. What sustained you in music? Why don't you kind of give up when people say? I don't know if people say to you, get a real job. Somebody said it to me at one point in my life. But why doesn't one get a real job? Why do we still do it with all the challenges that it poses?
I think the passion of music is what keeps us going. Like, for me, there's not a greater feeling than doing a show and just, like, killing it, and then you just leave the stage. Like, that's, for me. I don't want to say, like, the height of human experience, but for me, when you do a show, especially, like, so let's talk about my own shows. When I do my own show, and what you rehearsed doesn't necessarily happen on the day is like an elevated level. You're just like, wow, where did this come from?
Yeah.
So for me, that's like the height of like my human experience. So, and yeah, as I said to you before, the opportunities I've had in my life, it shows me that I have to keep going.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will probably be out after, but I even applied for South by Southwest.
Great.
And I'm doing that in June.
Oh, fantastic.
And I just literally, I just applied for it because the things I apply for everything, and I email everyone, so I don't really care. These things, it just always reminds me, because I'm a Christian as well. I think it's just God reminding me, like, you have to keep going. So, and also I have good friends around me who, if they see I'm slacking, they're just like, come on, like, what are you doing here? So yeah, I think purpose, why I'm here, the opportunities that I've had, and also I feel like there's more layers for me to go. Yeah. And another thing as well, because I'm a big Robert Glasper fan. He drops an album like every week. Not every week.
Yeah, but he's always releasing.
Like, I remember once I was on Spotify, I was like, he dropped another album again. And he doesn't need to like that. So like the man that are on top, that are killing it in the jazz scene, why I can't, my bad, I have to keep going because like these men are still going for it and they're in their probably 40s, early 50s. And I was like, I just can't stop. So yeah, that's what keeps me going.
Yeah, but I saw, on that point, are you familiar with the Yellow Jackets?
Yeah. Oh, legendary.
I mean, legendary. Yeah. So I saw them perform at Wycombe Jazz Festival last year. And dude, they are still at the front of jazz.
Geez,
like what, in their 60s, 70s, they're still killing it. Like Russell Frontier and pianist, still laughing as he plays, still doing different things. Like things you haven't even heard before. And it's the old cats that are like, they're still pushing the envelope. They're still the ones leading. Like there isn't any time to kind of like just plateau and be like, yeah, this is good. I mean, you can plateau by all means, but you won't know how far the rabbit hole goes. Do you know what I mean?
Very deep. Very deep.
So yeah, absolutely. Guys like Robert Glasper and whatnot, still very much releasing music, still getting music out. I love that.
They're not stopping because they know that's why they're here.
No, exactly. Exactly that. What is your biggest musical achievement, do you reckon?
Wow, no one's asked me this, Achievement. Oh, wow. This has thrown me off. I kind of had an idea of the questions you're going to ask today, but I'll just...
Keeping your toes on.
Achievement. This is... Can I say 2?
You can say as many as you want, to be honest.
Okay, I'll say 10. No, I'll say 2.
Well done if you got 10 biggest achievements.
So my favourite ever gig was Wycombe Jazz Festival, 2024. To get on that festival, as I said, when I'm not signed, I don't have management. For me, again, when you talk about turning points, because I had a little bit of imposter syndrome before that. I had done shows, I had done projects, I had done multiple projects. But when I done the Wycombe Jazz Festival, and with the festival, you can choose who you want to see. The room was just packed. Like I could not, there was no space. Everyone was like this, sardines.
Great.
And then when that happened, I was just like, oh, I'm actually an artist. Like, and this was 10 years after I released my first single. So for me, Wycombe Jazz Festival, doing that and seeing the response of everyone in the audience, and also how I felt playing. Because usually, even though I do jazz, that was the first show where I just let loose. Like I just didn't care. I was doing solos. I was just doing everything. Like I wasn't playing my music. I was elevating the music in real time with the band. So yeah, that was it. And also the second one, I would say doing the Royal Albert Hall album. I would say that's probably my biggest achievement, because the reason I say that is because only, if I'm not mistaken, only 2 jazz artists have done an album from there, and that's Blue Light Beats and Snarky Puppy. So I am in incredible company.
Yes,
with two acts that I've really respect, and I've listened to these guys for years. So I'll say the Royal Albert Hall album, doing that. And funny, even with that album, I got Nick Hard, who mixes for Snarky Puppy, to mix my album
together.
Yeah, so great. To be that close, I was like, I wasn't saying something, send it to my colleague, man, please. But I did. I tried to keep it professional. I was like, please send it to my colleague and Bill Lawrence and these men. But yeah. But I'll say the Royal Albert Hall album was mine. Yeah, and the Wycombe Jazz Festival.
Oh God, I mean, 2 massive achievements. What is on your bucket list of musical achievements? If you could do anything in the game, if a vision could come to fruition?
I've got quite a few. I want to collaborate with like the biggest artists, like musicians and singers and poets and rappers. And I also want to do shows abroad. Like I've done loads of London shows. I've done Wycombe Jazz Festival, but I just want to do a show like in Europe, Asia, Africa, America. That's really the ambition. And also, and as we said at the start of the podcast, like to do a tour of different cities. That would be like, that's what I would love to do, because I know outside of London, people really respect London-based musicians and artists. So like, I really want to go and do that. And then, just collaborate with more people, up and coming, underground, established acts, and just get my music out there to the world. Yeah.
For the up and comers, what do they need to know in order to become established, do you reckon?
Up and coming, just be very consistent with your content, because releasing music is difficult, but if you can be on top of content, then I think, that would be a good start. Because like, even TikTok, over the summer, last summer, I posted every day for like 3 months, 4 months. But I'm a bit fortunate because I can just record maybe 7 songs on the piano, and then just have that could be my thing for the week. But if you're a singer, you can do covers. If you're a musician, of course, you can do covers. I was doing this thing on TikTok, which went quite well. I was like, guess this Michael Jackson song. And I'll be playing Mine in the Mirror. And then you'll see 1,000 comments. Oh, this is Mine in the Mirror, this is Mine in the Mirror. So it's just using TikTok, Instagram to your advantage, just to be consistent. And also in terms of releases, just try and get music out as much as possible. But I know it's expensive. So just try and do that, I would say. Yeah.
Is there a reason that you haven't signed up to a label? Are you intentionally sort of label free?
Great question. It's never really crossed my mind, to be honest. I mean, every now and again, like you see these labels come up and stuff, but I haven't thought about that completely. That's maybe something I need to consider, actually. Maybe like, or just to ask the question, do I want to be signed or do I want to be independent? Because being independent is not easy. But then I've heard horror stories of labels as well.
Sure. We all have, trust me.
Like people that we know, oh, you're in a 6-album deal, and like you're just like, what's going on here? So I just at the moment I just prefer to be in control of my own sort of releases, my own destiny and stuff. But if that comes up in the future, I'm open to it.
Yeah. At what point in your career do you reckon? I know you mentioned you had imposter syndrome, and sorry if you sort of answered this already.
Okay.
But at what point did you say, "No, I'm him. I can do this. It's fine."
Yeah. So literally, as I said before, like the Wycombe Jazz Festival. And funny enough, if I list my shows I did before, I had done the Elgar room before that, and this is the Elgar room right at the hall, and I still didn't feel like an artist. Very, very weird. I did Pizza Express. I'd done. It was only Pizza Express right at the hall, I think. Those were the main shows I'd done. I'd done Caramel and Rich Mix like years before that. And I had released projects. I released the Right Hall EP before that, but I just didn't feel like, maybe it was confidence within myself as an artist. I still saw myself as a musician. Because obviously I was still doing functions, still playing in church. And I just thought I was a musician doing music, like doing jazz music. But after the Wycombe Jazz Festival, and I know sometimes external validation isn't always the best thing, because internal validation is usually what drives you. But I had to use that external validation
of
the response. Like, this was one of the first shows I've done. You know when you do a jazz show and people know when to clap and they know when to, like, if a sax player's finished a solo, I was just like, they were so in tune with everything. I was just like, oh, so what we're doing actually makes sense here. And me and my friend Jeremy, we reworked a lot of my songs to make it a bit more modern. And then literally from there, I was just like, oh, I'm actually an artist. Like, and people were flooding after the show. Oh, this was great. You've been the best act today and all that. And I was just like, oh wow. So I'm actually meant to do this. It's not just this is not just a game. Like, this is really serious. So I'll say the Wycombe Jazz Festival was the day I was just like, oh, I'm actually an artist. Like, I can actually be confident and do this.
And what do you reckon it means to be an artist? Like, what does that mean?
Oh, great. That's a good question. You've asked very good questions. Being an artist means, there's a couple of answers I've got to this, but believing in yourself, and also I would say you have to love the music, and then the audience has to come after that.
Yeah.
So Rick Rubin actually said this, so I'm not trying to quote him. He said, when you're making music, make sure you do it for yourself first, and then the audience comes after. So I'm not trying to just do the generic, like, Capital Extra. Shout out Capital Extra, but I'm not trying to, like, because some people do that and are very successful with it, but that wouldn't be true to myself. Like, I'm a predominantly gospel pianist who transitioned into jazz, so my music has got to reflect my thing. So yeah, being true to yourself, and also believe in yourself, even, and also being an artist means you've got to keep going.
Yes.
As I said before, like, because man, I've had some times where I'm just like, why am I doing this? Why am I paying this mix 500? I'm just giving an example, like, and then it's not easy, man. And then I think I said to you just before we started, like, the artwork I'm struggling with at the moment, because the thing is, as an artist, you got to wait for a lot of people. Unless you could do everything yourself, a lot of the times you are waiting on, can you send me your stems? Can you do the artwork? Can you mix it? Can you master it? All of this stuff. So it's just being patient, I think, is an artist. You got to be patient because everyone's got their lives and that as well.
How do you think if somebody thinks that they're an artist, what would your words of encouragement be in order to sort of tease them out of their shell and to present their artistry?
That's a great question. I hope I answered this right. Tease them out of their shell. Also, if they like don't believe they're an artist.
If they do believe they're an artist, but
just to make
for whatever reason they haven't showed the world that yet, or maybe in little pieces here or there.
I would say this. I'm trying to answer this properly. Even though I did this mistake myself, try not to wait for external validation before you put something out. If you genuinely believe what you're doing, don't worry about people's opinions too much. I know it's difficult, but just try and get it out, because the thing is, this is why I use TikTok more than Instagram for stuff like that, because Instagram is a little bit bougie. People are just a bit fake on Instagram. But TikTok, if you want to post 20 things in a day, just to test it out, just run that. And just if you believe in yourself and you believe what you're doing is good, just put it out, because I always say you just never know who might see it. You never know, like, who's watching. I remember I keep going back to Brick Lane Jazz Festival. Juliet, who runs, I don't know if you know Juliet, she runs the Brick Lane Jazz Festival. She when I emailed her about it, she was like, "Oh, we've been seeing you around. We've seen you posting, we've seen you like, oh yeah, so we were interested in you coming to do the festival." And if I hadn't been posting before that, and I'd just been like, "Oh no, let me not do it because I'm worried about people," I never would have got that opportunity. Like, so I would say, just put stuff out, man. Because, and another thing as well, sometimes we feel like, oh, everyone's doing a certain thing. Everyone's a sax player, everyone's a keyboard player, so I'm not going to post what I'm doing. But I went to down the road. In my area, there's a KFC and then there's a Favourites opposite. So it's just like,
there you go.
do you know what I mean? And across the road, there's like a Morley's.
Yeah.
These might not care, but there'll be someone that likes Morley's, and there's like, I'm not feeling KFC, it's too fake, so I don't get cancelled. But yeah, man, like, or there's a Pizza Hut and there's a Domino's across the road, like. Just still put it out, because someone will resonate with you. Like, I remember telling someone, a musician friend, a musician that is quite young. I was like to him, if you play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and put it on TikTok, someone's going to be like, how did you do this? So you just never know who you can inspire. So man. So I'm just like, I'm not too fussed about. If someone's going to ask me that question, I'll just say, just put your stuff out, man. Just believe yourself. Yeah.
But I mean, I often. One thing I think to myself, I think that encourages me to keep doing what I'm doing is simply that no one else can do it the way I do it.
Wow.
And no one else is supposed to do it the way that I do it. That's why I'm here doing it.
Yeah.
And if it was meant for somebody else to do it, they would do it in the way that they do it. I can't imitate them. They can't imitate me. So if I keep my voice out of the game, all I'm doing is depriving everybody of something that may interest them, but actually also they're only ever going to hear from me because I'm the only one who can do it that way.
That's true, you know. You should write that down and stick that somewhere. Nobody can do it like me. Wow.
No, and it's not even necessarily like a big-headed thing.
Yeah, no,
it's by design. Nobody, like, I'm I've got a lot of like inspirations on the saxophone. I grew up, when I was playing, I would literally try and blow note for note what Kirk Whalum was doing.
Makes
everything, right?
Yeah, makes sense.
Everything he did, I'm like, I'm going to do that. But I can't play like him. Not least because I was completely inexperienced, but because he has his energy that he's putting through the horn. That's his voice. That's what his voice sounds like. Yeah. And for me, like after a while, I would kind of stop listening to sax players as often because I'm like, I don't really... I've heard everybody else say what they need to say. And that's good and it's great. What do I have to say? And how do I say it? That's the bit. Do you know what I mean? So absolutely. Great. There's more than enough room at the table. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Even this podcast, there's a million podcasts.
Yeah, there's lots.
There's so many podcasts out there. And I'm starting so late in the game in comparison. But I think I've got something to say. I think some interesting people have things to say. Let's just say it. Yeah, and let's just put it out there.
That's incredible.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's great.
Absolutely.
What you said about there's multiple sax players, but what do you have to offer? And it's good to have inspiration, but then you have a different experience. I don't know if did you grow up in church or did you?
I did. Yeah.
So you have a different experience to someone that just didn't have church and just went to school to learn sax. You have different in different approaches to how you're gonna approach something. So literally, what you said is so. I'm gonna take that with me. Like everyone's got their own journey. So what you have is unique to you.
It's completely unique. So in fact, the only person, you're not the only person, but you're doing everybody else a disservice because there's a passage in the Bible. I can't remember verse and chapter, but essentially says that the whole of creation is eagerly anticipating the manifestation of the sons of God. Wow. Everything is waiting. Come on, show me. What is it? What are you doing? Come on, release it. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Everyone's waiting for it, and then we release it. And they go, "Way, great, do it again." All right, get back in the studio. Way, great, do it again.
It's like a mandate.
Exactly.
Yeah, for us.
Yeah, completely.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, brother, I appreciate your time, man. Yeah. I've got one more question for you.
That's fine.
What is the single most valuable opinion that you have of yourself?
Well, in relation to music or just life? Ooh, it's getting deep here. The single best opinion I have of myself.
The single most valuable opinion.
I know that when I played the piano, I can move people. And I know my experiences and my experiences in life and on my instrument means that when I play, it can affect a whole room and people can be moved by that. I cannot rest on my laurels basically. I'll just say, and also like I believe this is my purpose. Like this is why I was born, to create music and release music and affect people in a positive way. So that keeps me sort of like grounded in terms of this is meant to be. So and I always believe that God will always have my back. I'll say those ones. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
David,
thank you, man. Appreciate it, man. It went really quickly, man. Wow.
Yeah. No, thank you, man. I think there was a lot. There was an absolute lot.
I could go on a bit sometimes.
Yeah.
My partner says that a lot. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you weren't talking,
for
a bit of a drive.
Okay, no, I
bet you, man. It's kind of helpful. No, it's good, man. It's good.
Yeah.
And like, I guess, I don't know. I think there's so many different rabbit holes and angles that we could kind of touch on because the artist experience, as much as it is for everybody, like you rightly said, you've got to love your music yourself. So it can also feel quite, it can also, I guess, be quite challenging because sometimes depending on where you are, depends on how the artist's journey itself goes.
It's true.
Do you know what I mean?
That's so key. Like, depending where you are. Say that again, sorry?
So depending on you, where one is himself, like the balance of my own self, that kind of directly has an impact on the artistry and the artist's journey.
Even the way you create music, like a lot of R&B singers, they do it during heartbreak, and that's what resonates with a lot of people. So like, definitely your current state can affect your music. Like, I find when I'm more relaxed, that's when my music is better. If I'm a bit more tense, I'm just like, I'll just do 10 minutes of this and then I'll just forget it. But then sometimes you come back the next day, just like, this wasn't actually bad. Like, it was cool. So yeah, I think that's, and also the more projects you do, the more confident you get. So just like, I'm more confident now in, if I play something and I enjoy it, then I believe it'll be good enough to put out.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I want to make sure that I make the most of your time. Is there anything that you want to talk on before it goes? Anything in particular that you have in mind?
No, I think we've covered a lot of stuff, man. The questions have been good, man. So yeah, I'm easy.
Oh, sweet.
Maybe influences, but I think we've talked about Sarky Puppy and stuff. And Robert Glasper, those are my main ones. So yeah.
Well, do you know, there's something actually I wanted, when you were talking about it, it's something I wanted you to do, and it would be a first actually. So I have a piano here, which is helpful.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to have a little play.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Capture some content.
Yeah, that's fine.
Of that as well. Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh, legend.
I'll do that, man.
Yeah, appreciate it.